Okay, so Western television.
Western TV. Now, as usual, I've watched, the same things I usually watch each week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Stella, Once Upon a Time. There was no Family Guy this week, which really disappointed me. I don't know why, but there wasn't. Um, I did watch the Simpsons episode because I was bored today, and it was okay. I mean, the Simpsons stuff hasn't really been that good recently. And, you know, that, that pretty much covers everything before we get to Korra.
Okay.
So, Korra, episode 5, right?
Um,
Yes, because episode 4
one,
was
two,
last
three,
week.
four. Yep, five.
Alright, episode 5. There you go. Once again, I mean, granted, it was honestly, overallly, in certain ways, it was not as good as last week's, but in other ways, it was better. So it like averages out to be about the same, in my opinion. Is so I still feel it's still doing well. I mean,
Yeah.
Bolin finally realizes the truth that Kuvir is a crazy bitch.
Yeah.
We also learn like how this all began with Su Ying turning down the chance to unite the Earth Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and Kuvira decides to do it instead,
Yeah.
which led to all this. So it's in a way kind of sort of Su Ying's fault.
Right.
And then we also get to see Varric doing his experiment on the Spirit Vine and basically does a giant ass spirit energy blast.
Mm-hmm. Spare
But
gun.
yeah, no, that looked more like a shotgun. I mean, oh no, sorry, you're right, spirit gun, because shotgun sprays, whereas spirit gun has one consistent stream.
Yeah.
Joke, but no. In all essence, yeah, it was probably like a spirit gun theme thing. But now Varric at this point is had it, but of course he couldn't get away, and they get captured. And Korra, she makes it to the, Zaofu, and she is sent to talk to Kuvira, but then Kuvira sweet talks her into talking to Su Ying. So it's like nothing's changed. They're
No.
still no like she's now like yes, she's not rushing in to fight Kuvira, but this new Korra who's trying to talk things out is still too gullible.
She got talk no jutsu.
She
Plain
yeah,
and
she got
simple.
yeah, she got talk no jutsu. Now, the two things that and now the ending scenes were very interesting. With the whole thing where Korra goes back to talk to Su Ying, and she and a couple of her metal benders are going to sneak in and try and take out Kuvira,
Right.
and the fact that Ju Li turned on Varric.
Or presumably.
Well, it's presumed now. Apparently, there was I guess a a preview that I apparently didn't see that showcases a preview for next week showing that she didn't actually turn on him, and that supposedly next week she's gonna, that it was all it's found out that she only did that to help get Varric out, but
Right.
it was still a funny scene. I still enjoyed the scene.
Yeah. Do the thing. That was great.
Oh, her doing saying, "Guards, do the thing."
Uh huh.
And he's like,
Not the
"No."
thing.
Or the whole fight where they're fighting in the Varric's new robot suit armors. Like, he's like, "That's not the flamethrower. What idiot designed this thing? You, sir." Varric is just hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I'm just really liking this book 4 so far.
Sure.
Uh,
I like Kuvira a lot still, even if she is crazy. I think she has a lot of good points, especially.
well, that's kind of sort of been the whole. That's the kind of sort of the whole point that Toph made,
Yeah.
like an episode or two ago, that each of the villains of these books had good intentions, but were out of balance and couldn't and took their ideals too far.
Right.
So
Yeah. If you saw like what I wrote like on Mystic,
yeah,
I really like I likened her kind of conquest where it started off like it seemed like it was going to be something like the Persian Empire, which, quick history lesson here, in the Persian Empire, King Darius, Cyprus, Cyprus, he conquered the kingdom from Assyria, and once he had been done conquering, the next king, Darius, was the one who ruled it, and he essentially ruled not very heavy-handed. He was very tolerant of those he conquered. He actually standardized them all into his culture, and everybody kind of liked Persia for it. They became part of the culture. They were even the first people to standardize coinage through Darius. So now the Assyrian Empire, which I actually liken Kuvira's actual conquest to, because while it seemed like it would be the Persian Empire, the Assyrian Empire, they ruled with terror and torture, where anybody who was not for them, they were against them, and they would literally come to them, they would burn their crops, they would do all kinds of crap like that in order to literally force them to cooperate, or else they would be starved. And most people would say the Persian Empire was better, because when you starve out people, you get chance of a revolution. So, yeah.
revolution.
Quick history lesson there.
But as we also learned in this episode, she apparently, it's true that what Oppo said was true, and that these camps, that she sends people to camps if they're not loyal, and that she basically treats these people like slaves. But since they're all united, but they're still united, even though they're all slaves,
Right.
basically. Unless they're part of her army.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, as far as we can tell, are probably all earthbenders, and probably just mostly earthbenders.
Yeah.
Which would make kind of which kind of confuses me, because I'm sure there's non-benders in there too, but it just seems kind of weird that I just have this feeling like her entire army's all like earth/metal benders.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily all metal benders, but at least all earth benders, which seems weird, but it's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Which again is weird, because they're all in like these robotic machinery, so it's like, why would they need them for? They're benders.
Because metal benders, they can't do the platinum. If they were gonna revolt, they wouldn't be able to metal bend the suits.
Yeah, I know. Well, I still think Toph is gonna I feel like Toph's gonna do it by the end of this book, just because she's Toph.
Yeah.
She's that good.
She probably could.
She probably, she could. I don't know. I just want to see her friggin' scare the shit out of Kuvira because she starts metal bending her platinum robot.
That would be.
She's
sick.
like everyone's having trouble fighting her, and then next thing you know, you see Toph walk up, and she just some random fodder subordinates in the robots go to attack her, and she just puts up her hands and stops them, and just tosses them with her earth bending.
Mm-hmm.
And Kuvira's just has that face shit, I'm fucked.
Right.
Kind of face. But who knows? We still got another 7 episodes left.
Yeah, right. There's 12 episodes they were slated for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So lots still has to happen. I mean,
yeah.
I think I said last week that most likely what's going to happen is she's going to end up taking over Zaofu, and then the final fight of this war is going to be her attempting to take over Republic City.
Right.
Because it's technically on Earth Kingdom territory.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully she kills Raiko in the process.
What, forcing another leadership? Well, probably. I don't know, because, I mean, obviously, like I said before, there's all... She's going to learn, like, she's going to end up defeating Quivira, and then she's going to turn around and change... like, basically impose a change on the world based on what she's learned from each of these villains
Right.
she's faced. Hence, why it's... And this will bring about balance, hence the name of the book, but it's also... would then, bring that, help to reiterate the point that they said that this book is supposed to wrap everything up and, like, show how everything is connected.
Right.
Basically, that each of these villains, the reason why they chose to do multiple villains was that she could learn different lessons on, basically, to teach her 4 different lessons.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Equality, connection with the spirits, freedom, and unity. And so they felt in order to teach it to her, they had to put her up against 4 different villains to teach her this lesson, because she needs to get her ass kicked to learn anything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, Aang, at least he learned a lot without getting his ass kicked, but he still got his ass kicked and learned from it.
Right. Yeah, then there's only a couple other portions of the episode, not chapter, that I guess we could touch on, like, for instance, Bolin being able to lava bend at will.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that, but I felt like that should have won them the fight.
Yeah.
Should have been able to win that, but I mean, I guess the plot demanded that Varric get captured and they have to surrender.
Right.
Because, I mean... But, anything else?
Yeah, and then Asami is the last.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah.
That was an amazing section of the episode. Like, I'm like, I should, like, hit myself for forgetting it, because it was so, like, just when you thought Asami's character couldn't get any better, she does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But now the fact that she, even though she can't forgive him, is starting to, like, to begin to willingly, like, interact with him, people are thinking that he might be a key point in helping them defeat the army, since it's only an improved version of his original design.
Right. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Asami she's just great.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting better. What the fuck, guys? What are you doing? Why are you making her so good? And then she's only an underused gem. Come on. You gotta give her some monumental importance at the end. Please.
Although, I mean, I'm assuming everyone's gonna have this, like, I'm having very high hopes right now for this book.
Mm-hmm.
Because of everything they've laid out and the potential that this storyline has for epic moments for all the Legend of Korra main characters, and epic moments for any of the surviving members of the Team Avatar from Last Airbender.
Right.
Meaning Katara, Toph, and Zuko. Now, I mean, I highly doubt Katara's going to come out of the North Pole to help fight, but Toph and Zuko, definitely I can see them fighting.
Yeah.
Because Zuko is just a badass, and Toph is the most badass. Like, she is by far my favorite character in the Avatar universe.
Really? I like Toph. Zuko is always my favorite, though.
Yeah, Zuko is great. I mean, like I said, he still holds the best episode of the series as a whole. But Toph is just awesome. Of course, one thing you have to also note is how Toph's personality has changed over the years. Because if you noticed in the flashbacks in the last book, more so in the last book, she went from like her personality changed from that like carefree, the carefree child she was to someone who you could tell was being very burdened by the position
Right.
as police chief, and that when she left to find inner peace or whatever the hell they want to call it, she regained that personality of hers that she lost, or
Right.
she no longer had those pressures, so she was able to return to her old self
Hmm.
just in time to help Cora,
Yeah.
which I like. And like I said, I am begging. Well, now I mean it was confirmed in an interview that we will see Toph again, but I want to see her now. She's just so awesome. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Twinkle, come on.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see her soon.
Especially in last week's episode when you had that awesome story, like where she just had that sarcastic storytelling. What's the I was like, oh, she's like, tell me how you trained the last hang. What's the tell? I threw some rocks at him, and and Sokka fell in a hole. The end. This week I subscribed to Sawyer.
Yeah.
And and watched his review of this episode, and he noted that apparently in an interview, and I didn't want to say this to AZX, but apparently there was an interview saying the reason why they haven't returned, one of the reasons why they didn't return the past avatars is because they didn't want her to have that crutch.
Right.
And I had a feeling that if I were to have mentioned that to AZX, he would have flipped. Shit. Because that to me is making me think that that's going to be like series finale, like last episode return of this, which is kind of not what he wanted.
No.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people were hoping she would have gotten it back at the end by the end of the last book, but
right.
Now it's looking like in the final moments of the last episode of this series is when she might get it back.
Right.
Which people aren't going to like. But yeah, that was just the other thing that I wanted to add that I forgot to mention.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that's another great episode of Legend of Korra, Book 4.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Mostly, I guess, I don't know, due to Asami and Kuvira and that kind of stuff. I just thought it was hilarious how Korra came to talk no jutsu, freaking Kuvira,
and she got talk no jutsu'd.
Her speech amounted to stop it, and then Kuvira was like, nope.
Okay, I'll go talk to the other...
I'm going to reason with Kuvira. Yes, your reasoning is, you have to stop this. That's not reasoning, that's asking a request. Okay? There's a gigantic difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah.